Hello again, everyone. Tyrone Glover here, and this is number three. Number three. We are now again into our third live stream with our wanting to connect with the general public. And it has been amazing. We really haven't felt the impact yet, but we're hoping and praying that everyone will at some point decide to say, hey, you know what? This Mr. Glover guy has something going on. He has really seemed to connect it in the manner in which we, the consumers, would hope that a business would connect. And as the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, I want everyone to know that we're here for you. Please excuse the train that just rode past here. I live relatively close to the train station, which location. If anybody out there understands the business, is if you're in a great location, people will always be able to find you. And we're in such a great location, it's almost unbelievable. We're right across the street from the post office, right literally stone's throw away from the library. And to make it even that much more better, we are right down the street from the train station. So again, we live in an area and we are here for our community. And when we can be generally positioned in a spot where no matter what walk of life you are, you can meet us, hey, what more can you expect? We're an online presence. We're a community presence. We're working currently with our YMCA. We're working currently Foundation. We have a great connection with the African American Heritage Foundation. We are a company that is all about consumers. These live streams, and I want to emphasize this, these live streams are for the next 15 days are about connecting with our public. It's about me just sharing with you. It's about you. There's a space there if you're watching right now, or if you're thinking about getting on, where you can type in some of your questions and we'll be more than happy to answer those. We are a business that is about educating the general public when it comes to credit-related products and services. Consumers, citizens, constituents, we're not doing enough. We're leaving too much of our information and our means of being able to commerce in the hands of companies that really, they're not caring too much about what you think. They're not caring much about how is your bottom line. They're looking at offering you products and services that they get for almost nothing and then turn around and sell it to you for roughly, just throwing out there some averages of interest rates, 9%, 10%, 11%. God forbid you miss a payment, that's going to jump up to 29.99%. And if you're as old as I am, you see these gray hairs, that means I'm a little bit more distinguished. If you're as old as I am, 52, you probably saw where it was at some point, 34.99%. That means you were giving someone $34 for something that they got from the feds for as low as 25 cents. Highway robbery. The only difference between, and this is my personal opinion, the only difference between a lending institution and the mob is that the lending institution can't come to your house and break your kneecaps. Okay? That's the difference there. Gestapo tactics are being used by lending institutions, credit reporting agencies, collection agencies, law firms with deep pockets. We got to get away from a lot of this, what we don't understand, and start stepping into the realm of what we need to understand. And Leverage Credit Recovery is a company that focuses on your needs. And one of those needs that you need to understand is you got to have a exceptional credit profile. Now, you can get by with a good, you can get by with a fair, but can you imagine what you're going to be paying extra for just those two ratings, that fair and that good? You're not in the category of great. I believe it's bad, fair, good, and excellent. You're not in that realm. And if you're not in that realm of excellent, you're there in that realm of where you're going to be paying a lot more for your products and services. We here at Leverage Credit Recovery are attempting to help you with educating you, getting you past those hindrances, those blockades, those erroneous errors, things that are in your credit report that are harming you significantly. I said it before, we're not going to see relief from our government. It's just not going to happen. As much as we would like it to happen, it's not going to happen. The relief that we're going to see is going to come from ourselves. That means we're going to have to do more to make sure that we have a better financial footing and platform for us to be able to move forward. We have no other choice now. The way that we commerce, if our income is not sufficient, is we're going to have to be able to use our credit. Income is not sufficient. We've been talking about it, or not we, meaning myself or we here at Leverage Credit Recovery, but we have been addressing it with our clients, but the general public has been talking about it. They've been saying wages have been stagnant. Stagnant, meaning they've been plateaued. They haven't risen for a good percentage of us, the consumer. And the upper echelon clearly has been taking home a lot of our hard earned. Folks, when, at which time is it going to be relevant for us to now say enough is enough? And I'm going to be challenging the new 116th Congress. I'm challenging you guys to reach out to us here at Leverage Credit Recovery. I want to speak to you guys. I want to speak to all of you legislators, all of you so-called rule makers and you lawmakers who are failing us. You need to start speaking to constituents like myself. You need to start speaking to citizens like myself. You need to start speaking to business owners like myself. We have great ideas, but you're so stuck on whatever it is that you're stuck on that you don't even deem it necessary. Well, now that we have platforms like, again, excuse me for the train, now that we have platforms like YouTube, which allows for me, an ordinary person, but an extraordinary businessman, to do things that I could never do before, which was set up a camera, put it online, talk to consumers. Now I'm asking our congressional leaders, whether you're local, whether you're national, to reach out. LeverageCreditRecovery.com. That's the website. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com is where you can send us an email. We want to know. We want to hear from you. And clearly, if you don't respond, then you're telling me everything that I need to know, that I need to keep doing what I'm doing. The consumer is now first and foremost when it comes to our business. We need to make sure that consumers understand their rights. Consumers, because if you don't understand your rights or know your rights, you don't have any. Okay? So I want to make that perfectly clear. Leverage Credit Recovery and these live streams are for talking. It's for the next 15 days. If you got a question, you got a concern, you got an issue when it's related to credit products and service, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. CEOs that are out there from these lending institutions, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America. I live close to a lot of banks, so that's why I was looking to the left. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, credit unions. We want to talk to you. We want to see how well and how much you are engaged with the general public and whether or not you're helping them. Credit unions, I'm a little bit disappointed in you guys now too, because you're not doing what we had anticipated you to do. You're actually, some of you are even worse. You're not open on time frames where you should be open. We got to go through circus rings to get some of the basics of our understanding of how we operate with you guys. I mean, I'm not here trying to bash anyone. I'm here clarifying. I would love to know more about how your functions work and how they work to the advantage of consumers. Again, if you're borrowing money from the feds, or you're borrowing money from banks, which you guys do, and you're getting it at almost nothing, the dirtiest dirt price that you can possibly get it for, but yet you turn around and you require we, the citizens, to pay these exuberant interest rates on something that you're getting for almost nothing. How is that good business for the consumer? I understand it's good business for you. I get that. But how is that good business for me when you're putting me in harm's way? Then, if for whatever reason, due to economic constraints or due to economic failures, not on the consumer's part, but on our government part, we, the consumer, are then saddled with putting ourselves in harm's way due to what you do. So we end up now, wages are stagnant, interest rates are through the roof. We can't make our payments in the manner in which we should, so we have to miss a payment here or miss a payment there. Now that interest rate jacks itself way up beyond anything that we can possibly think of. We have a normal payment of maybe $200-300 if you're taking out a loan, or you have a credit card. Then all of a sudden that payment from $200 to $300 is now $600 and $700. Who gave us that difference? Who gave us that offset? Did our employer give it to you? I had already indicated that the employer didn't. Did the government give it to you? No. You want to really know something? The average consumer, meaning a single person, has between 5 and 8 financial credit related products, either in their wallet or in their portfolios. The average family, meaning mother, father, and maybe 1 kid, 2 kids, a dog, a cat, a gerbil, a hamster, doesn't matter. Worked in a pet store, so I love those little creatures. Doesn't matter. They have between 8 and 12 financial products. Can you imagine if you're paying $200 to $300 on an average, and then all of a sudden you're now paying $500 to $700 on an average? Who gave you that? What do we say? 2 to 7, that's a $500 difference. Who gave you that difference? Your employer certainly didn't give you the difference. The government didn't certainly give you the difference. You're having to rob from Peter to pay Paul. That's not how this country was designed. The bartering system has been around longer than anyone can imagine. We've always had some form of bartering. Hey, I got a sheep, wool. You got a cow, milk. How about we do a little even trade? That's how it used to go. Once credit was introduced to it, it went to a realm that it's almost impossible to think about now, because citizens are being harmed. And they're being harmed due to, 1, the greed in this country, and due to 2, because they just don't have enough knowledge. So we really, really, really got to get better at what are we providing for our clients, meaning lending institutions. How well are you satisfying your clients? You're taking their money, but what else are you doing for them? Are you educating them? If they go through, well, the good hands people are now, after so many years, they're now giving you a forgiveness. Where was the forgivenesses years ago, when it really could have helped not just you, but also the consumer? Where was the forgiveness then? All of a sudden, now that things are so upside down into your favor, all of a sudden now we might as well start doing this forgiveness, start getting these clients, getting more clients back, because we're going to give them a forgiveness. You're not forgiving anything. You're not. Because as soon as something happens, all of a sudden, all these new rules that is in the forgiveness, you had to make sure that this and this and this happened before we can forgive anything. Nice try. A business person like myself, who's been around for 28 years as a corporate America mid-level executive, didn't quite get there to where I wanted to, but I got exhausted with the shenanigans. I got exhausted with the red tape. I didn't give up on retail. Retail gave up on me, because they didn't want to have someone like me helping the worker, helping the vendor, helping the customer, doing the right thing by himself and for the business that he was working with or for. My job is not just to protect the business interest, which I did a fabulous job. My job is also to protect our consumers' interest. to make sure that our consumer is the best consumer that we possibly can create, so that they continue to keep making that return visit, return visit, return visit. It's about getting them to come back. It's about them going back and telling, hey, you know what? I had a great time at wherever I was. And I would recommend it to this person, that person, whoever, because of the service. We're not servicing anymore, meaning businesses are not servicing anymore. It's just not even a hello. Walmart even got to the point where they have greeters now. Those greeters are doing the best job that they possibly can do. So my whole point is, again, it's not here to ramble. It's not here to bash anyone. It's not here to seem like this is this crazy black guy just throwing out all kind of stuff. Again, not in any sense of the word attempting to create controversy, attempting to create anything other than clarity. We, the consumer, need clarity. Leverage credit recovery is a business that focuses on educating our consumer, teaching business mindset for personal empowerment. You're dealing with a business every single day. And if you don't believe me, turn on the lights in your house. That's a business transaction. Turn on the TV in your house. That's a business transaction. Turn on the heat in your house. Business transaction. Cell phone, business transaction. So I can go on and on and on and on and on. You know it as well as I know it. You're paying out the wazoo for things that we should not, that you would think as technology improves, that the cost of those things would go down. Do you really think that they're paying that much in R&D, research and development? Doubt it, because they're probably not. They're probably not. They're duping us. The biggest shamsters out there, and I hate to call people or institutions that, cable TV. Now, we could talk about that for eons, as much as they keep trying to dupe us. What's one of the favorite taglines from one of the favorites out there? That you're getting fiber optics, 100% fiber optics. Now, maybe I'm confused, but I don't think I am. But isn't fiber optics a little red little dot that shoots out of that cable? But if I'm looking at my wall and my wall has a copper wiring, where is that 100% fiber optics? Seems like a no-brainer to me that I don't have 100% fiber optics. Sounds like a little bait and switch going on there, don't it? It's okay. It's okay. Again, our job here is to clarify. We need you, the consumer, to understand, why am I in the situations that I'm in due to no fault of my own. Now, granted, we have contributed to a lot of the failures, excuse me, of our own. And I'm one of those consumers who will immediately admit that I did not have the skill set, I did not have the knowledge to understand my own personals. I got paychecks, I bought, I did whatever I needed to do, didn't really give too much thought into the repercussions of my inexperience. Now I'm putting nothing but all of my expertise into making sure that I can now go into the world, get what I need based on my credit profile, and now it's all about helping consumers get that same understanding. Leverage credit recovery is not a business about just making bottom line make it for us. It's about making the bottom line make it for everyone. You're going to have to pay someone to do what you don't want to do, whether you want to learn how to do it or whether you want someone to do it for you. Those are the two dynamics that we have in this country. We have those who are the go-getters and the doers, and we have those who say, my lifestyle is just too hectic. I can't do this for myself, but I am more than willing to pay someone to assist or do it for me. Leverage Credit Recovery will do it for you, and we will assist you. Doing it for you doesn't mean that we will not be holding you accountable. Yes, you will be held accountable for the expertise that we give you, that you then have to then go out and just more or less execute on your own. We understand that you might not be able to put certain verbiage together or put certain letters together. That's where, again, we come in. We want to educate the general public on financial understanding when it comes to credit-related products and services. Consumers, you're being taken for a ride. And you're being taken for a ride by Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You're being taken for a ride from every single bank that you can possibly imagine out there. Now we have new sources, and these are called alternative lending sources, which they're going to charge you an enormous, again, interest rate for either your debit card or your swiping machine transactions, how many of those you do. So we're going to give you money based on that. Or again, you have multiple alternative lending sources out there that use a variety of means of how they're going to lend you their money. And the reason why is because they see that consumers are in such hardships when it comes to getting a loan at the banks, that the banks have said, well, we don't need your business because we've already made oodles of billions of dollars. So yeah, we can give up some of that space to alternative lenders because the alternative lenders are going to have a challenging time trying to find a good consumer. Well, I'm here to tell you, alternative lenders, we're creating those good consumers. I'm here to tell you, banks, we're creating those good consumers. We're creating smart, savvy, wise consumers who understand to ask the right questions before they get themselves into financial harm's way. We're asking consumers now, do you want to improve your credit profile? If you do, reach out to us. LeverageCreditRecovery.com is the website. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com is the email. Obviously, you can see we have a live stream. We're always here ready to address your concerns. We're always here ready to make sure that you, the consumer, will no longer be taken advantage of. We have to do more. We have to do better. It's up to us, those of us who are experts in this area. I'm not by no means claiming that I'm an expert. So let me recant that last statement. And those of us who are smart enough, those of us who are wise enough, those of us who are experienced enough in this realm. I come from 28 years of working with the hardest working group on the face of the planet. That's that middle American understanding. I don't believe that we have anyone who's a low American. I don't even agree with the middle American status. We're all Americans. But in this country, we have labeled everything so dramatically that we have now classes where people fall into. I'm here to tell you, you want to have a 750, 800 credit score, you're going to have to put in the work. That's all it is. You're going to have to do what you are wanting others to do for you. There aren't companies out there that can do it for you. If you're giving someone the power of attorney to do something for you, I would reconsider that. We don't want power of attorney. We don't want to execute anything for you. What we want to do is provide you with everything that you need to be able to gain the access that you should have. And the access that you should have is only going to come by what you know. It's always impressive to be able to do what I'm doing right now. I got a big smile. I keep a smile on my face, and you should see me as a person. I'm just a very cheerful, upbeat, positive person. So it's cool to do what I do because I don't do it for the sheer pleasure of just seeing my bank account grow. I do it for the love of what I understand about credit. I do it for the love of what I have for my countrymen and women. I do it for the joy of being able to get that phone call when someone's calling me and saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I went from a 500, now I'm roughly in the 725 range. I can't believe that the car that I always wanted, now I can afford because my payments are only $250. I can't believe that I live in now this great location where I never thought I was going to be able to live in because my credit score wasn't ideal or wasn't sufficient enough for me to even go down to that the rental office and apply. We're putting consumers into situations where they now have the control. We're making more proactive citizens instead of reactive citizens. We want you to be the best financial partner we can possibly create. Giving you back again what we call here as leverage. The name comes from because it's going to take us to create leverage for each other. It's not coming from those means in which we thought it was going to come. We've been duped by so many elements. And I don't want to get into the college loan issue because I'll talk about that later on after we get through the 15 days of intro. But we got to look at that. That was pretty sad. We were told, do the right things, stay out of harm's way, get educated. All of those things that we thought were going to be there, they will be there. We were told they will be there. Come to find out, it's not. We got people working 2, 3, possibly even 4 jobs. For what? Why not have one job that allows for it to take care of everything? Why are you out there with 2 jobs and 3 jobs and 4 jobs? When do you have time to be home? God forbid, if you have kids, when do you have time to see those kids? Raise those kids, educate those kids. My whole point is this next 15 days is all about you, the consumer. Please reach out. Please give us the benefit of a doubt and go, you know what? This guy makes a lot of sense. He's talking things that I've been thinking about. He's talking things that if you have a great relationship with your mate, your partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, it doesn't matter. He's saying things that I talk to them about. Well, now you have someone who wants to talk with you about it. I want to make sure you're okay. I want to make sure your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your nephews, your nieces, your friends, your cousins, everyone that you associate with, I want to make sure they're okay. The only way to do that is we have to teach each other. Oprah said it best. It takes a community to raise a village. Well, number one community advocate reaching out now to his community, not just his local community here in Yonkers, New York, but also his national community. Folks, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to do this together. I am super impressed with the clients that I've had thus far and the potential clients that I'm looking to gain. I have seen huge increases not only in their credit profiles, I've seen better understanding about them themselves. When I talk to a client and then 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a month, 4 weeks later, I talk to that client, I can hear the improvement just in the way that they're addressing me. I can hear the improvements in their understanding. I can feel the presence of how they're like, I can't believe that this is going on, or wow, I'm so happy that I did this and I'm doing this now. It's changing the way that people are thinking. And the only way for that to happen is for individuals like myself to want to have conversations with those of us who are out there in the world. There's 330 million. I mean, that number varies from here to there, depending on which website you go to. Overall, we got 70% of the population who's struggling financially due to credit-related products and services. 70% of the population. Do the math, folks. 330 divided by 70%. It's going to tell you roughly how many people are struggling. It's going to tell you. It's a very simple mathematic problem. And I'm not going to do it for you. As a teacher, I do that all day long. I even tell my students, don't expect me to do the math for you. Go out and do it. You can Google it. You can type it in there. Come on now. This is why leverage credit recovery does what it does. We don't just give you the answers. We help you with finding the answers. Oh, trust me, we know the answer. We use resources all the time. CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, FTC, Fair Trade Commission. So we're working with some of the larger government agencies to make sure that we're doing it right. Okay? Last point is you, the consumer, we're here for you. We're here to make sure that you have what you need to be that consumer that you know you can be. Leverage Credit Recovery at gmail.com. It's the email. LeverageCreditRecovery.com is our website. Obviously, you can see here, this is Leverage Credit Recovery live stream. This is our third live stream, and we're looking forward to doing more. I know we've pitched and we've said that we want to do 2 of these a day, 12:30 to 1, and then 6 o'clock to 6:30. Obviously, we will revise that. It's now 7:09, so we started a little bit later than expected, but sometimes things happen, and that's how life is. We're never, ever going to leave you in the dark or in the dust, in the cold. Folks, you are the one who's important to us. And in order for us to help you, you have to get over the fears. The fears of the unknown is what's keeping consumers in harm's way. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me 30 minutes of your day. I wish you and all of yours safe travels, a wonderful and prosperous 2019. And we're on a mission. 20 clients a day, 20 active clients a day, reaching out to 5,000 individuals. We would like to have 5,000 new clients by year's end. That's an easy bucket to fill. Obviously, I just told you, there's 330 million consumers in this country. So that's an easy bucket to fill. Thank you again, everybody. Leverage Credit Recovery. My name is Tyrone Glover. I'm the CEO, and I wish you all a pleasant and wonderful Friday evening. Thank you. Have a great night.